Hi, my name is Dave Fries. I'm a state rep for the 116th district, and Illinois politics never cease to amaze me. Last year, Governor Pritzker pardoned a convicted arsonist, and because of that, that individual was appointed the chief of Prairie Pont Fire Department. That's in my district. I brought forth a bill 5693 to try and prevent this. What happens in these small communities, as most people know, the local fire departments, it is a really integral part of our community. If you appoint a convicted arsonist, obviously you are going to lose that faith and trust in that community. And as a great example of that, this volunteer fire department had 13 individuals on it. Following this appointment, 10 or 11 of those individuals immediately resigned. It's very unfortunate. Cannot understand why our governor would do this. It's very, very unfortunate. Although the hiring is obviously left up to the mayor or the fire department, this really needs to be brought to the attention of the public. If anybody is convicted of arson. This individual specifically, he burnt down a house and attempted to burn down the high school there in his community. Our citizens have a right to know who is going to be appointed their fire chief, and I hope that this bill gets through, and this provides needed information for our community so they know who's going to be their fire chief. Thanks. Mark?
My name is Mark Luft. I'm state representative for the 91st District. When does the damage to our public safety stop? How much more can they take? How much more can the communities take? First, I want to commend Representative Fries for bringing this bill forward. Much needed and a great job on this bill, Representative. As Representative Fries said about this pardon, Pritzker's pardon is a slap in the face to all the hard-working, honest firefighters throughout our state who put themselves in harm's way every day. As a mayor and state representative, I work very hard to ensure that our public safety in our communities and the state continue to raise the bar and provide what the communities ask for and what is much needed there. And I can absolutely sympathize with the majority of the Prairie DuPont Fire Department firefighters who resigned on the spot when Jerame Simmons became their chief. Things like this cannot happen. They need to be more transparent. The way this pardon was done looks bad as well. Pardon happened, and immediately there was an appointment to fire chief. That's very disturbing. That shows a pattern that cannot be acceptable in a municipality or with the state. I stand behind the patch. Patch means something to these firefighters. It means something to you. It means something to our community, and we will do everything that we can to ensure that that patch stays intact with its integrity and its foundation for what it means to our communities. Thank you. Patrick?
Thank you. I'm State Representative Patrick Windhorst of the 118th District, which is all or parts of the southernmost 11 counties of our state. I'm a former prosecutor in Massac County, prosecuted cases of all kinds, including arson and aggravated arson. Today I'm here in support of the efforts of my colleagues, Representatives Fries and Luft, as they work to increase transparency in the hiring in the public safety arena. This specific instance we reference today is a situation that should have never happened. Yes, the governor has the right to pardon anyone or offer anyone clemency, but we've seen a disturbing pattern, particularly with Governor Pritzker, as he has now built a long record of both letting violent and dangerous criminals out of jail early and pardoning or granting clemency to individuals with long records, including serious violent crimes. Throughout this session, I have been highlighting deficiencies in the state's criminal justice reform efforts. The legislation signed by Governor Pritzker last January has arguably made our state less safe, with rising crime leading the headlines on a daily basis. The legislation filed by Representative Freese and sponsored by myself and Representative Luft requires any person applying for a job as a firefighter in a municipal fire department or fire protection district to disclose whether they have been arrested or convicted of arson, and allows the person or board making the hiring decision to consider that applicant's applicable criminal history as part of the process. Arson is a serious crime that carries stiff penalties, especially when there are multiple instances involving aggravating circumstances, as was alleged in the case in the instance we're referencing here today. Local fire departments deserve to know if the person applying to fight fires is actually a person that has been convicted of intentionally starting fires, whether that person has paid their debt to society or not. Requiring applicants to disclose their relevant criminal history as a part of the application process to become a firefighter just makes good old plain common sense. Let us take a step back from allowing and inviting the absurdity we've seen by supporting this legislation that increases transparency and gives local fire departments the tools they need to ensure they are hiring quality individuals to provide critical public services. I urge my colleagues on the other side of the aisle to recognize the urgent need for this legislation to move forward during this committee deadline week. Allow this bill to be assigned and called in committee for a full debate, and ultimately join us in sending House Bill 5693 to the governor's desk.